So I'm going to try to get this done quick because I've spent pretty much the whole weekend in this office doing content. So Q&A, I've got some of these questions from some of my clients this week. So yeah, going through this. So I'm going to try flip-flop it. 1 week doing questions from clients because I can speak to them, and just random members in the gym, and then other questions from Instagram and all that jazz. Anyway, the most annoying... Anyway, camera cut off. The most annoying gym habit. There's many. Bear in mind I've worked in gyms for about a decade now. I don't have an issue with people using tripods, but when you're filming every single set, like numerous sets on the same movement, that's where you lose me. Or like a big one, it kind of falls into that bracket. People filming their sets, but only doing like 4 reps or 6 reps. So they're not doing a hard set, they're just filming it so it looks like they're training for Instagram, but they're not. They'll do like 8 reps of a squat, they probably maybe had 15, and then rack it at 8. That doesn't my tits in, because what you're doing is fake. It's fugazi. Steal any body part from any bodybuilder, who and what would it be? Probably Lee Priest's arms, either Lee Priest's arms or Tom Prince's hamstrings are pretty sick. Try to stay in line with the Caucasian boys you see. Yeah, Lee Priest's arms or Tom Prince's hamstrings. I'd be up there. I like my midsection, my chest and my shoulders aren't utter shit, my back's finally starting to get there, just wanking myself off right now. My legs are half decent, so it'd be arms most definitely, because my arms are puny. Anyway, eating clean or flexible dieting, so this is a tricky one, because in the off season I like my food, I'm a foodie. Fucking hate that term. On that, being a foodie, everyone eats food. How can you be a foodie if everyone eats fucking food? Now, I get there's people that eat for function, or they don't have a big, like, exorbitant palate, but everyone eats food. Anyway, enough of my random. Eating clean and flexible diet. In a diet for prep, I'm old school. I think if you're not sticking to a meal plan, you're asking to lose. I get that some people are flexible, and I will be flexible to a degree. Like if I don't want fish, I'll do prawns. If I'm doing chicken and I get bored of chicken, I'll do turkey. If I'm doing mince, I'll do steak, that type of thing. But I wouldn't see that as flexible dieting. I'd see flexible dieting as like your diet changes daily. I get that people prefer it and it is better for people, I do understand that. But for myself in my head, I couldn't do it. I couldn't stand on stage and know I've not been that clinical. And in the off season, I like my food. Like often Roman and I will either make a decent meal on a Sunday, or like a big goal of mine this year has been to get good at baking. A very masculine thing to do. But one of the things I made this year that I really fucking loved was I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, a tres leches cake, a milk cake. That was fucking sick. So in the off season, I like my food. Most toxic bodybuilding trait. It's tricky because I actually think this is the trait that makes everyone good at bodybuilding, is thinking you're small or staying small. Because everyone I know that like glazes themselves, that has this like sense of entitlement, that thinks they're the shit. I hate to break it to you, unless you're like Mr. Olympia or like you're the numerous timed British champion or whatever, you're not that good. There's always someone in the shadows that you don't have a fucking Scooby about that's going to be better than you. It's the brutal thing about social media now, is you see these utter freaks at like 20 and you're like, what the fuck am I doing? But everyone I know, everyone I look up to, like Adam, Gaz, the guys that got me into bodybuilding, Bully, Sai, my coach Brad, Andy, rest in peace Luke, that I coached, that I was getting coached by Luke Sandel. they all thought they were kind of crap at this, and continue to do so. Continue to do so and continue to do well. Everyone I know that just thinks they're the boss, taps out preps. They've just got this uber inflated ego, and when you compete in a sport of bodybuilding where it's all about yourself, and it's about you getting on stage and look trunks, right? It's a very, very vain thing to do. I think you just look like an utter knob when you think you're the best thing going, or you glaze yourself. Like often if I'm in the gym and someone's like, "Oh, June, you're looking good, you're looking bigger," trying. If I admitted it, probably gonna get banned off YouTube, but I just think it's gay. Like, how much do you love yourself? That was meant to be a short question as well. Has bodybuilding made you a better person or just obsessed? See, I would disagree that being obsessed is a bad trait. I think a lot of people have this viewpoint of obsession, that it's bad and it's toxic and you need to be balanced and your life needs to be completely evenly spread across all interests and all facets of life. The people that believe that and think that, I'm sorry, but when I say average, I don't mean that average isn't the boring. I mean average as in they most likely won't achieve anything of utterly high standard. Now, you can hate me if you want, but sport is a perfect example of that. Business is a perfect example of that. So like, bodybuilding has made me extremely obsessive. I was always obsessive in nature when I was younger. So then when I started lifting weights when I was 13, 14, it clicked that all I had to do was lift the weight and do it regularly. I would progress. I was like, oh well, fucking hell, this is simple. And then I stuck to it. It's one of the reasons I like this. It is very, when I say straightforward, it's like, as long as you're eating, you're training and everything, you will progress. At what rate differs, but everyone will progress. I'm yet to meet anyone that doesn't get better if they're training and eating and doing everything correctly. So I think I became a better person with being somewhat obsessive. I was also raised by my mum, who was self-employed and worked from home, and every day I'd leave for school, she'd be getting up, going to work in the office at home, and then when I'd be coming home, she'd still be in the office working, and she'd work till 9 at night every night. All weeks and most weekends. So yeah, it's kind of what the environment I was raised on. Shout out to Big Shoes. What does a hard set look like? Really just taking it there. Like, your form doesn't break down until your last 2 reps. Your tempo, your cadence stays relatively stable, like the same throughout. And you just go for it. It doesn't have to be heavy. It doesn't have to be low reps. It doesn't have to be 100 fucking reps. It just has to be a decent fucking set that you can come off and you can just visually see that they felt it. The one thing that does do my tits in is when people make an utter fucking racket a third way into their set. Like, if you're screaming on rep 4 and you get to rep 15 or 12, you're a ball bag. I get making some noise, I get hyping yourself up, I'm all for that. But if you're making noise the first quarter to third of your set, you're just doing it for attention. Again, my opinion. I used to do it, ironically. Back in Edinburgh when I trained at lift and when I trained at exercise list, I used to scream swear words and shit when I was deadlifting. I thought it was the shit. I got humbled. I'm not. Simple. What's most common, under eating or under training? I hate to say it, both. It tends to be one or the other. So if someone's under eating, they tend to be overtraining, so they're burning the candle at both ends. And then if someone's if they're under training, they tend to be they're under training. Confuse myself there. If they're under training, they tend to be overeating, and if they're under eating, they tend to be overtraining. Is what I meant. So in either scenario, you're burning the candle at both ends. So if you're under training and you're overeating, you always will tend to find these are the people that struggle to get in shape. Whereas if the people that are under-eating are doing too much in the gym, these tend to be those people that just can't put muscle on. Like one of the things, like the buzzwords when I was growing up was like hard gainers. I don't really believe in it. I just think some people need higher volume, some people need lower volume, some people need more calories, some people need less calories, and like your start point is never the same as anyone else's. What does bodybuilding cost you that no one sees? Things like missing out where I'm at, if I want to progress in bodybuilding, I've had to choose to miss out. Like I don't like not going out with my mates or doing things with my missus or see my friends or family. And I get that people are like, oh, you can do it. Probably you can, but I can't do it. I struggle mentally to like have it all sync together. I guess that's the way to word it. So, like, there's a big chunk of my life where, like, I wasn't looking forward to my birthday. I wasn't looking forward to Christmas. Like a big chunk of my life. There's times in my life where, like, I didn't talk to my mum because I thought she wasn't supportive enough for my bodybuilding, so I didn't talk to her. So, is it healthy? No. Don't do it. Fucking stupid. But yeah, it's cost me just silly fucking things like that, like memories and shit that I know I'll never get back. Time I won't get back. Where are we? What food are you sick of but eating away? I'm not a fan of oats. I don't eat oats right now. I tend to eat oats in off season, in a diet, in a prep, because to keep me full with the fibre. But I'm not a fan of oats. I get why people eat oats. I get it. Can't do it. I don't understand the hype. It gives me the bulk real bad. Last one. Hardest truth in bodybuilding. There's two. That your success in bodybuilding is predetermined by your parents. Whoever your dad shagged or whoever your mum shagged predetermines how far you will go into bodybuilding. Like, yes, it's not just genetics, it's work ethic, it's how hard someone's going to work, it's all of that. But your genetics like underpins all of this. If your genetics are amazing, but you got shit work ethic, you're still you'll get a half decent physique. But if your genetics are to shit, and I've seen people like this, they've got all the passion in the world, all the heart in the world, but they don't have the genetics to allow them to progress, or they're like really injury prone, or whatever it may be, or their muscles are just really flat. That person's like ceiling is maybe winning a class at like a small regional show. So that does suck when maybe the person doesn't see it and you're the bearer of the bad news. And then the second one, you're only as lean as your fattest body part, and you're only as big as your smallest body part. And this is something I think way too many people don't live by. So like, it's all well and good being lean, but if you always have abs in the off season and then you start dieting and you're like, oh, look at my abs, well, no one gives a fuck because you had them fucking 8 months ago when you're on 1,000 fucking calories. So like, you should always be like thinking like, what part of my body is the hardest to come in, and that's your leanest, what you should be focusing on when you're in a dieting phase or a prep or whatever. So for myself, it's my upper back and my glutes just like often don't want to join the party. So if my back's in shape, I'm in shape. If it's not, I'm a fat cunt. And then same with the biggest body part. Like, if your legs are shit but your back grows like mad, don't assume you're progressing well unless your legs are getting better, because your back's always going to be good. Like, stop focusing on the good thing, the thing that is always just going to click away. Focusing on the bit that's a bit